Hey everyone, welcome back to Mad Mullet's Garage. Today we're going to be pulling the boat anchor out of the boat. This is the second engine I've put in this thing and it's died just as quick as the first one. So we're going to get rid of it and put one of those on it, which I got cheap. There is the video on that I haven't finished yet, but we're going to get a pod made for this and get rid of the inboard, stick an outboard on it. Be a whole new boat. So today we're gonna rip this boat anchor out. We're gonna start by putting the battery in it, tilting the leg up because it's on the ground, and move it around to the other shed and start pulling her out. Oh, there's no battery terminals. Where are the battery terminals gone?
Do you want me to hold the terminal?
I'll have to hold it and you get in.
Yeah, where's the tilt?
Up on the dash.
No.
You have to get in.
I'm going. We good?
Yeah, try that.
Is that down or up? I think that's down.
I don't know. Press it again. Yeah, go right.
Doesn't move the other way.
Oh, maybe. Oh, the relays are. It's all coming back to me now. Think my battery terminal.
Yeah, I like your battery terminal.
Right, try that. I can't wait to get rid of all this shit. Fuck.
Soon to be replaced with one of those.
Right again. The other way.
Nothing now.
Sweet. Well, the relays click it. Right now?
Right.
The relays click it, but... Yeah, that doesn't do anything.
And it's still only going one way.
Same way before.
Yeah.
Any issues with these terminals?
Just on a side note. Could get wet.
Well, yeah, that wire's not even there anymore. Alright, well, let's just unhook it.
Okay.
We'll unhook the rams and eliminate the problem completely. Oh yeah, this is said boat anchor. It looks really nice compared to the one that was in it originally. Rebuilt Holly. Oil that's unmilkshaked itself.
Yeah.
So like last Easter, was it last Easter?
Yeah.
We took it out just after we finished getting it all tuned carbine in, new everything, like new plugs, new leads, new points.
Rebuilt the box, around the back.
Rebuilt all this, just finished all that. Used it all over the previous Christmas, not an issue, fucking dialed it in, sweet as. We got like 3 k's down the river at Easter and it milkshaked the oil. It got a hole in the sump that may have been dodgily fixed, but that's beside the point. And it shit the brand new gimbal bearing that I put in it.
Yeah.
So
And nearly caught on fire.
And nearly caught on fire. All within 3 k's of the boat ramp.
Yeah.
So then we drove it back to the boat ramp, drove it on the trailer and parked it in the shed. I haven't looked at it since. So I figured it's probably time that I should do something with it.
Face your trauma.
Yeah, face the trauma. Alright, I'll go get the stuff to pull those rams off.
Okay.
Instead of just removing this now, we're going to just undo the 6 bolts and take the whole leg off. That way we don't have to deal with holding it up and all that sort of stuff. So we'll rip this out, undo them 6 bolts, and then it should just come off. It was only a part 12 months ago. This is foreshadowing of things to come.
Very wild. weather.
It's definitely going to rain.
Definitely going to rain. It's nice.
Yeah, stainless steel. Probably should have got a hammer.
Oh, sorry, Hannah, here. There's one on the ground over there. Next to, right there. On the bottle. High quality device. Kept in mint condition.
Hasn't been sitting on the floor for 30 years.
I know. Uh-oh. Performancey.
You guys made those guns and didn't return your shit to where it goes.
We didn't make any guns.
Yeah,
Is that the BOC one or is it that one over there?
Guns are illegal.
Oh, hi. That'll be funny anyway.
Luke told me that you had to learn to control yourself. It would be interesting flying that little plane.
Yeah, I just thought the same thing. Want to be important. Oh, I guess they're 5.8 as well.
How many times has this you've had that leg off?
Oh, I don't know, 5 or 6.
For 2 uses of the boat?
Yeah. Seems like a great success rate. So if anyone tells me, oh no, don't take the outboard, the inboard out, don't put an outboard on it, you come and fix it. I'm over it. I just come. Oh, the steering seized again. What a fucking surprise!
On another note,
Yeah.
there's chickens.
Oh, there's salt water coming out of it that's been sitting in it for like a year.
Out of the leg or the boat?
No, out of the leg. Like.
What's that thing?
What thing? I don't know, like a thing.
What about you?
Why don't you just put the phone down for a second?
Put the phone down.
Right, so back to the original plan. We're going to just do this with the strap and tow it over the shed and deal with, or over the other shed and deal with it over there. So we don't have to keep going getting tools coming back. So now we'll move it. We've got the Super Edition front tow bar going. Finally out of its hole. Righto. Antenna is broken. Oh well. And now the car won't turn off. I think
There's the key.
the fuel stop solenoid's broken.
Oh,
Ugh.
nah. Nothing.
Put it in high range.
Oh, yeah.
fixed. Well, it's in the shed now, so back to what we're doing. We'll try and extract the leg without breaking it, because this is probably the most valuable piece of the lot. For some reason, they're still worth stupid money. So we'll try and extract that without damaging it. And then we might be able to see what happened to that gimbal bearing. Oh look, there's little prying spots. You would think I would know that by now. Maybe the shaft seized in the gimbal bearing.
I was wondering whether something like that may have been the issue, but then what do you do?
Cut the thing apart.
Can you get the whole? Oh, you can't, I suppose. You got to take that off to get the rest out.
Yeah, there's a ring of bolts on the inside.
All right. That others.
No, I think I know what it is.
Right.
It's got to be in gear. Well, I don't know if that's exactly what it is, but... So, we're still fighting. I don't think I've forgotten anything. The ram's disconnected, the 6 bolts are disconnected, and it's in gear. Should just slide out. I mean, they're always a bit stuck, but god damn, it's really stuck. Alright, so we pulled this off to see if we could undo the shaft in there or anything, but it doesn't look like we can. What I think has happened is I put a new gimbal bearing in. This was supposed to be a Quicksilver genuine gimbal bearing. What I think has happened is, so this shaft comes out of here, it's got like a double cardan, like double uni joint in it, and then goes into a straight shaft which goes all the way into the back of the motor just with a spline. What I think has happened is where that shaft goes through the bearing's seized, and then the shaft has welded itself to the inside of the bearing. So you can't get this out because it's welded in the bearing, which is inside this whole setup. So what we're gonna do is unhook the motor, unhook everything connected to the motor, keep the good bits, because there is a few good bits on it, but the motor itself is junk, and then lift the motor up and swing it towards the front of the boat so it comes off the shaft, and then lift it out. It's going to be a little bit more painful than like if you could just take the shaft out and lift it straight up, but you know, it's got to make it difficult somehow. So we'll get the unhooking the motor, so then we can just swing it out and I can vent some anger on it. Alright, we can start by getting rid of the engine cover because it's always in the way. Keep my kneeling cushion. Now, if anyone watching this wants to buy any of these parts, send me a message, because you can probably just have them. Here you go, catch this.
Oh, I know what it's for.
What?
Dog kennel.
Yeah. I've got two of them. I've got another one though.
Yeah, the other one's got a seat on it.
Yeah. You can sit on your dog kennel. Should I take this bit of floor out, you reckon?
Is it going to make it easier?
Probably.
How many screws have got in it?
2, I think.
1, 2.
Yeah, I don't think there's any in the front. I think we just screwed it in the back.
We did 2 just to stop it moving.
Yeah. Ta-da! Oh, you'll also be glad to know, everybody, that I filled the 250 litre fuel tank with fuel and got 3 minutes down the river and it destroyed itself, so it's full of lots and lots of fuel. Hang on, I think that's a rather easy disconnection. Throttle's disconnected. The nut that holds the cable to the manifold is buried in that really nice bit of timber that we made.
Oh, no.
So we literally, an hour before we took it out, we finished, we didn't paint it obviously, but like finished trimming all it up, nice new timber box, because the one that was on it was all rotten and it was shit and it had like a double step in it and stuff. It was just garbage. So we just finished this stuff, boxing it all in. That was after we made sure the motor was all good and all happy. And then of course, you know, 3 minutes later it decided to shit itself.
Throttle, can you take that bracket off?
We'll just take it off here.
Yeah.
Take it off there and there. Yeah. If I haven't got this done, we'll probably finish doing this and then I'll go home. Alright, throttle cable's disconnected. Oh, we need to disconnect the water hose as well. It's that fucking exhaust bellow. There's an exhaust bellow down in there. You can just see the 2 hose clamps. Got to disconnect that. I mean, or we could just lift the motor and tear it apart. I might just take the carby off now as well, because obviously going to keep that. Can I have a 1/2 inch spanner or 13 mil? In case everyone can't tell, this is all completely custom to make the Holly work on the stupid Rochester, stupid MERCRUISER. I drilled a hole in the throttle linkage and used the factory MERCRUISER arm. It actually worked surprisingly well. It got like 98% throttle, which was good enough to blow it up. Add an oil. So anyway, I'll get that off and then I'll probably finish getting wiring and shit disconnected. Just looking, I don't know what all this is. It's like melty yuckness, and then there's like, looks like ash. Like it may have actually been on fire. That's interesting. The most frustrating bit about all this is the motor itself, like the actual bit that goes brum, still ran beautifully. Like the motor itself runs great. It just didn't want to live anymore. I did find out later on from a dude who deals a lot with MERCRUISERs that there's I think it's like a Welsh plug or something behind the water pump that goes into an oil gallery. He reckons that Welsh plug lets go and then they milkshake. Yeah, I will have one. I did tell myself though that I'm not going to even try and fix it because it'll just break my heart again. Let the time lapse begin. This is way better.
Right.
The music.
It's just got to play with it. It's funny because I put it on, it goes the same.
The phone.
What about?
The gimbal went flat. I don't know how long it's been like it.
Doesn't matter.
Alright, we've got the thing basically stripped. I've got all the leads and stuff off it, which I'm going to keep. I'm going to take that adapter because I'll use that on something. Take that fuel separator, and then that's it. So, for anyone that doesn't believe me that this thing milkshaked, that is the oil in the fuel pump. Look at how milky that is. Yucky. And I was just having second thoughts about this. I was just going, maybe I should fix this motor, but nah, I'm done. The other reason I'm pulling this thing off is because it might be the same as a Holden red motor. And that thing has a leak in fuel pump, so take it off and see. Now time for engine mounts, and then we go find a tree to swing it out of and maybe shoot at it.
Right.
The front mounts are undone, and the rear mounts are like that bolt head down in there, and there's one there and there's one on the other side. You can get a rattle gun into them from memory. It's just a nightmare. So I'll take them out and then we'll go and get rid of it finally. But when I think about stuff, these are the rear mount bolts. When I put them in, I copper anti-seized them all so they wouldn't seize into the bushes, because these are just steel bolts. So the old ones I remember having to drive out with a hammer, but these ones just came straight out because I anti-seized them. Look. It's like part of me new.
Yeah.
So it is completely disconnected, ready to be removed from its home forever. Plants, we're not going out of a tree, we're going off this beam, which may or may not bend, but it'll be fine. And now we are relocating back to the other shed so we can lift the motor out. So we're back in under the shed, got our chain block set up, and of course now we're outside. It started to rain, so we're going to tie a rope and probably go through the little here and are just around the back of the riser there, and then just come up to the hook. Yeah, I reckon just go around the back of that. It's like a big hook shape, so it's not like the rope's going to fall off it. And then we should have enough height here to lift the motor up high enough to clear the transom, get the boat out from under it. And then it's just taking that bit behind the motor off, and then we can get rid of that hideous hydraulic unit and the steering that keeps seizing and all of that good stuff. Put one of those bad boys on it. Maybe both, who knows. I would be happy with only one, but you know, I've been trying to sell the other one and no one wants to buy it, so may as well use it, hey Dad?
Might as well.
Unless someone wants to buy it before I put it on. Perfectly good, running, needs a paint job and sticker kit. It looks pretty ugly from the outside, but it's actually a really nice motor. It runs beautifully. If someone might be interested, it's got like 1,100 hours on it or something. Someone's interested, send me a message. It's already tied, and I don't even have to do nothing. Fly, be free. Yeah, we have lift off. It's just stuck on that exhaust pillow. We're off the shop.
You want me to go back a bit with the tap?
Nah.
Or get it up a bit more. Or try it. Right.
Yeah, actually, we could just drop the shaft. So it should just pop out of that boot. Those creaking noises are...
Yeah, it's not going anywhere. Probably the top holding a little bit.
I think it's the tin.
Yeah, it's a bit too.
I need flat screwdriver or something. Did you bring any tools?
No. Like,
I was just going to jam a flat screwdriver in that boot and see if I could... see if there's something wrong. We are on fucking gimbal. This in here is what I'm trying to get. It's just stuck to the point where it's literally lifting the motor, like on an angle. Take a bit of weight off it. Came straight off the shaft too. No issues at all. Right. Got that off. Now, might need to come back with the car a little bit.
yeah.
It's free! Close. That should do. I'm gonna drive out. Motor is out. And just drive out from under it. Bye. When I said before it had a dodgy stump repair, this is what I'm talking about. We tried everything imaginable to seal. There's a hole under here. I actually don't think it's leaking from there. I actually think it might have started leaking somewhere else, because it doesn't look like it's leaking from there. I tried spray flex seal, I tried tape flex seal, I tried tape flex seal with blue goo around the edges, and then I tried the right stuff. and it actually worked. And I actually don't think, it doesn't look like it's been leaking from there. It looks like it's somewhere else now. That was something was cooked for some reason when I got this motor. It's got like bog on it and it had been welded and I don't know what happened to it, but the magical reverse-o-matic tow bar's feeling it now. There's no weight in the back of the boat. It's all in the tow bar. That weld's fighting for life. So I think this is our issue, why we can't get the leg out. This shaft down in here goes into a bearing that's inside this whole setup. But this should be, like, there should be movement because it's a swiveling bearing, but not like that. It ain't meant to do that. So, pretty sure that's why the leg won't come off. But now, basically, unbolt those, take them out, and that disconnects all the gear and throttle linkage stuff. And then disconnect this steering setup, which I've had apart many times because it normally seizes. This rod seizes inside this stainless rod seizes inside the alloy tube because they're similar metals. And then we'll undo all these big bolts that go right around it, and the whole lot should separate. This bit will come off inside the boat, and then the whole rest of it should go outwards. It'll obviously be sealed with silicone and stuff, but should just come off, hopefully. How long have I had this now? 5 years?
Yeah, something like that.
5 years, and I've used it probably about as many times.
I was going to say 5 times. Is that including the time we ran the fucking cooling system on a fucking
Milwaukee pump.
Milwaukee pump with those overboard?
Yeah, probably. That would count as the time that we used it. Because I used it...
We went 16 kilometres offshore. Remember?
That's right. Yeah. With the original motor.
With the original motor where you couldn't idle it because it overheat.
Yeah, you couldn't idle the motor because it'd overheat. Which we then found out there's actually a little rubber hose down in fucking back of there somewhere that was actually the main issue. But couldn't idle it because it would overheat. And then the thing had so little oil pressure once it was at running temp that on the way back it had a rod knock.
Yeah.
And then it went away. As we started travelling more and it started to cool down a little bit, the rod knock went away. But then that motor, that motor, I don't know, I think it milkshaked as well. So it's obviously a thing that these motors do. And then one of the intake valves was sticking. And then I'd run it long enough that I just run it at $4,000 until it out of gear until it unstick the valve, and then it was sweet. And then I went all the way to Peel Island from Jacob's Well, all the way there, all the way back. I thought I'd fix the milkshake oil. Then it immediately milkshaked the oil. We were 5 minutes from the boat ramp. It milkshaked the oil. I just went, I'm going out on the boat. It's Australia Day. I don't care. So we went all the way to Peel Island and all the way back, and the motor still ran, even with the milkshake oil, made it all the way home. And then that was the death of that motor. I went, right, I don't trust it anymore. Pulled it, it sat for probably a year. Found the motor that was just in it. And it was a mint motor, and it was fucking really good. And then put that in it, tuned it all up, happy days, and then it committed suicide.
Alright.
Straight into the good stuff. I got this. So this little gear cable, you've got to cut. You can't get it out of the leg. It's actually, if you want to service the gimbal, you've got to cut it anyway. So I'm going to cut that, and I'm going to cut the steering because it's all fucked, and I can't be bothered fighting with it.
And you didn't set fire to the boat.
And I didn't set fire to the boat. What a bonus. I found out why it has so much steering play. Radio. So We've got all the nuts and bolts off that hold the thing to the other thing on the outside.
So technical.
Yeah, hold the two magical pieces together. So now I'm going to beat shit out of it with a hammer and see if I can get it off. Oh wow. That was easier than expected. It just came off. I have to unbolt that little water pipe thing though, I think. I don't know how you get to that bolt that's behind the fucking pipe. Oh, the hydraulic lines go through it.
Uh-oh.
Cut them?
Yeah, just cut them. Fucking not use them. Is that a rubber pipe?
Yeah, that one is. Now the hydraulic lines don't go through it. Oh, fuck it up. How did that undo? Here you go, present for you.
Thanks. In the bin?
Yeah, in the bin.
In the bin.
Straight in the bin.
Straight in the bin. With all the other shit. The only other way I could think would be to put a couple of blocks of wood in the like gimbal, so it jams, and then twist it sort of.
Or you could stick a jack under it.
Yeah, but it goes all the way up. Let me go and look, see if it's done anything.
We've decided that the attachment must be the goo that holds this on. So we're using the renovator tool, trying not to cut into the boat, but into the goo that holds it. We're going to scratch paint, but all this is going to be covered by pod anyway, so. Is that the goo that smells like wood, or is that
What?
the goo that smells like wood?
Yeah.
Oh, weird.
Is it wood, you reckon? No,
It
can't
smells
be wood.
like, it can't be wood, but not even through the fiberglass. But it smells like you're cutting wood. And it looks like it too. But it's the goo. Ah, well, I'll report back whether we cut a hole in the back of the boat or cut through the goo. I'm trying to work out what's going on here, because this looks like timber, like shavings, and it smells like wood when you're cutting it, but it's not wood.
Could it have like a balsa gasket or something between it? Like a... Have you had that off?
No, I've never had that off. I mean, it could. I don't know what like that. I imagine that went on in the 60s when the boat was built. Unless someone's had it off between now and then.
Because it does look like a gasket.
It sort of does.
And they can't, like, if that's a flat surface, there's no way, like that.
That would make
bolts
sense
through
why
that.
it smells like that.
Yeah. Mm.
Just keep running it and see what happens. Righto. We've had dinner and a beer. Now we're ready to, I don't know, what do you reckon? We'll stick a little pry bar in there or just fight it?
Give it a jerk.
We have success. Now I have a big old hole in my boat.
Yeah, it's cool.
It is too. So it actually, I don't know, I haven't pulled many of these mercuises apart, but it actually has a cork gasket. Had a cork gasket between the leg and the transom instead of goo. Everyone I've seen pulled apart has goo. So that's what we were cutting, and it smelled like timber. It smelled like wood. It was actually a cork gasket. It's probably full of asbestos or something.
Yeah.
It is from the 60s.
Probably.
So our biggest concern with pulling all this off was that we were going to find that the transom was, you know, rotten or soft or anything. But it is rock solid. Someone actually did it properly. I don't think that leg's ever been off, but it's actually covered with like fiberglass resin the whole way around, which has sealed the wood, like sealed the timber transom beautifully. So no repairs needed. I would have been a little bit surprised had it been soft, because the rest of the boat is perfect. There's no rot in it anywhere, except there's a hole in the floor where someone jumped over the side into it. But no rot, so this is awesome. It means that I don't have to fix the transom before I hang a pod on it. So I'm thinking of getting a pod with full duck boards and everything to come right out both sides, so you've got something to climb up on either side of the outboard, and then obviously, you know, outboard pod in the center there. Should be sweet as. Oh, your hose. Righto, so we're back out here the next day. We're just finishing up by hosing it out a little bit, and still a little bit to pull out of it before we put the outboard on it. The rest of it's just pulling out all the old hydraulics and steering and all that sort of stuff, but the big hard work's done. So next step is to fill that big hole in the transom and then get a pod made, and then we can swing the outboard off the back of it and have a good time. So thanks everyone for tuning in. Make sure to give us a like and subscribe and all that good stuff, so you can see more of this good stuff. Next time we'll probably be putting the outboard on the boat or making a pod or something. I do have another little project in the pipelines, an old Dodge AT4 truck that you'll see very shortly. So yeah, thanks for watching.